I'm about to mass delete a ton of state management code. Reducers, action creators, all of it. And my app's gonna work exactly the same. Actually, no, the code's gonna be cleaner. If that sounds too good to be true, stick around for like 3 minutes and I'll prove it to you. I'll tell you what this library is called in a sec, but first, look at this. If you wanna make a global store in your app, it's this simple. Define a hook like const useSumStore and set it equal to the function call create. Inside here, make a function that returns an object. Now, in this object, you can make whatever global state that you want. We'll say count, and we'll default it to 0. Now, in any component in your entire app, you can get the count by saying const count, call your hook, and select the state just like this. Boom, done. Now this component has access to global state in like 3 lines of code. I can have 6 different components that all get this same global variable. Whether it's 5, or whether it's 2, or whether it's 8, they all share the global state. No boilerplate, no garbage, no 3-hour-long tutorial, just beautiful, simple, and elegant. At this point, you're waiting for the magic reveal, right? This is not built into React or Redux, so what is it? It's maybe one of the best libraries you'll ever use, Zustand. Zustand is a global state management library that is meant to be a simpler, more efficient alternative to something like Redux. It has around 20 million weekly downloads as it's been growing rapidly, and in the near future, these numbers will surpass Redux, for good reason. So now you're wondering, what's the catch? Well, that's the fun part. There isn't one. It's just that simple. Right now we have a Zustand store that just has one value in it, this count state. If I want more global variables, I can just add them to this object. Now I've got 4 values in my global store. Let's say in this component down here, I want to get isCool and friends out of the store. I can make 2 separate calls to this hook and use our state selector syntax to select each one. And then in this component down here, I want to get friends and name out, so I can do the same thing with the same syntax. It's super easy. But wait, you might be wondering, isn't this a little weird to call this same hook multiple times? Can't we just call it once to get the whole entire store and just destructure the values from that state? And the answer is yes, you actually can do this with one main caveat. If you use this syntax, you're subscribing to the entire store, not just specific values. In this example, I'm only destructuring isCool and friends, but if any of the other values like count or name changed, this component right here is going to re-render because this hook has subscribed to the entire store. This obviously doesn't make any sense to re-render here because if count or name changes, this component does not care at all because it doesn't use those values. So yes, this syntax right here does work, but just be aware that it will re-render if anything in the store changes. So if you want to use the store properly, just make individual calls for them like this. If I want to have all the values in my store typed properly because I'm using TypeScript, all I have to do is define a type up here that matches the types that we want. So count is a number, name is a string, you get the idea. Once you have the type that you want it to conform to, all you have to do is pass in angled brackets here for a generic, and you can pass in your type just like this. And now this will make sure that your store adheres to this type. So for example, we expect name to be a string, so if I deviate from that and I try and make name a number, we're going to get a type error saying type number is not assignable to type string. But if you go back to the correct type, now it'll make TypeScript happy. Let's go over the last main thing with Zustand, setter functions. Right now we have state. We have these 4 values here, but we have no way to actually update our values aside from me manually going in here and changing them. So how do we make setter functions with Zustand? Just like we would have setter functions for React state. It's actually super easy. When we first called this create function, we made sure it was a function that returned an object. As part of this function right here, we can pull something out of the arguments called set. And now, with this, we can make any setter function that we want. For example, if we want a function to increment the count, we can just call set in here and pass in a function that again returns an object. Out of set, we can pull the existing state. This object that gets returned right here will be our new state. So in here, we can just say count is equal to state.count plus 1. All this entire line is saying right here is increment count is a function that whenever it's called is going to call this setter from Zustand. It's going to take the existing state and return a new state that just has our count, which is the current count plus 1. So we're incrementing. That's all this really is here. One thing you'll definitely be used to if you've used React a lot and mess with React objects that are also in state is doing some sort of spreader like this, where we spread in the existing state and then add our new value. However, Zustand automatically takes care of this merging, so we don't need to do it. It's already handled for us. However, if you do have nested objects, like if the count was actually an object that itself had more properties on it, then you will have to spread those in. But at the base level, Zustand handles merging for you without having to do those annoying spreads. For extra brownie points, you could also just destructure the value you want from here. So instead of just doing state, I can pull the count out directly and now reference it directly like this without getting the whole state object. And now this is going to work beautifully. And voila, that's how setter functions work. If I wanted setter functions for my other states, they would look something like this. Now we've got multiple setters for multiple different values. Let's see them in action. Here's a simple page that just utilizes all 4 of our state values and all 4 of the setter functions. We just have a card for each one. For example, the count, which we can increment. We have the name, which can be changed and will update accordingly. We can have the cool, toggle off and on, and we can add some friends here just to this list, just the way that you would expect. There's nothing magical happening here. We're getting all of our values out of our store using the selector notation, and we're simply just using them the way they're intended to be used. For example, when we change the name, we just call on change, and we pass in the eTarget value to the set name, just the way you would with regular React state. Nothing fancy, nothing magical, it's just all global in a super clean API. Next, I want to show you a super quick demo of a simple dashboard that I set up using Zustand. This dashboard has a couple of main components, and they all share some state. On this page, we have a Zustand store that I just called use dashboard store, and it's nothing super crazy. All we have is a user and a theme, and then we have a setter function to update the user and a setter function to update the theme. So just 2 values and 2 setter functions. Look at what having this Zustand store allows us to do. If I control F in this file for state.theme, it is used 5 separate times, so in 5 different components. And if we look in the header here, we get toggle theme out, and down here on this button, when we click it, we toggle the theme between light mode and dark mode. So if I go up here, go between light mode and dark mode, the whole entire page just shifts. And that's because with Zustand, every single component knows what the theme is. They are all able to adjust accordingly because they all share the exact same global state, just the theme that we have in the Zustand store. There's no goofy boilerplate for this, no use effect to load this value into local storage, none of that garbage. Just an extremely simple Zustand store. But it's not just the theme. If you look at our page over here, you can see the user that I'm signed into displays multiple times. It's Austin Sullivan. So we see Austin Sullivan right here, Austin Sullivan right here, at the top right here, and it's basically everywhere. However, we know that user is part of our Zustand store. So if I go over here and change it to, I don't know, Mike Rodriguez, now everywhere where it says my name, it is now saying Mike Rodriguez. If I instead change to be Sarah Chen, all the name instances will change to Sarah Chen. This is again because all these components are subscribing to the same Zustand store, our use dashboard store hook right here. And all the information about the user is inside the store. With our setter functions, we're able to change between them, and every component visually updates accordingly. So whether it's this light and dark mode toggle, or it's being able to change users that every component has context to, this is a case where Zustand handles things beautifully. To end off this video, I want to answer one question. When do I use which state management solution and why? At this point in 2026, there are so many ways to solve any given problem in React, but I'll tell you exactly what my thought process is on where to use Zustand versus other solutions. Right now, my logic for picking state management tools is based on 3 different tiers. I always start with the simplest, and when it falls short, I escalate it into the next one. You can think of this in terms of complexity like low, medium, and high. The first option, which should always be your default go-to, is use state. Anytime you have a new problem to solve, your very first question about state management should be, can I just solve this simply using use state? If the answer is yes, just use that. It's what the hook is meant for. And in like 80% of use cases, use state will be the obvious choice. It is by far the most applicable to most scenarios. If you need a value to have visual updates, use state, or if it's just to hold a value that doesn't display anywhere, use ref will work just fine as well. However, there are some cases where use state may require you to prop drill into infinity and beyond, and it starts getting really messy when multiple components share the same state. That's where tier 2 comes in. Once use state falls short, I generally lean towards using Jotai. I made a whole video on Jotai a while back, and I really do love this library. If you haven't watched that video, I recommend you do, because it's basically a global use state. When use state might require you to pass props to 6 different components and prop drill through 3 layers of parent and child, Jotai provides an extremely simple and clean API for creating global state. You define an atom, and then you call use atom just like use state, pulling out the state and the setter function, and this state is global. It's incredibly simple, and it really works well for these scenarios where just using use state would get annoying. However, Jotai does have its shortcomings. It's really good for one-off global states or things that are still relatively simple. But once once you start getting multiple states that need to be global, and these states are all kind of related, it can start getting really messy because Jotai doesn't really have any structure to it. Jotai is not really meant for complex, interrelated state. And that's of course where option 3 comes in, the golden child, Zustand. Zustand provides a solution for global state that, unlike Jotai, is organized and easily structured. It's amazing for more complicated solutions where you have multiple pieces of global state that might depend on each other or have some sort of logical grouping. Having global state that can just exist as part of a hook that you can call wherever is such a genius yet simple implementation of global state that makes this so much easier to work with than some other solutions. So this is it. At this moment in time, my way of reasoning about state management. I am not saying you 100% have to follow this or that this is 100% the industry standard. I'm just showing you my level of reasoning in this day and age. I think you should always start with use state and work your way up if it gets more complicated. Only consider Jotai when you want your state to be global, but still relatively simple, and consider Zustand when you want your state to be global, but also organized and clean with multiple values. And one last thing you might be wondering, what about context? And I'll be honest with you, I don't use context all that much anymore. I found that in a lot of cases where I've used it before with just 1 or 2 values, Jotai atoms do the job just as well with way less code. And the times where I have a lot of values in a provider, like a whole store, Zustand just does the job better as well. There are for sure still use cases for context, and I've still used it somewhat recently, but in my opinion, its genuine use cases are much more niche. I personally do not use it much unless it really fits a particular use case. And with that, we're going to end this video here. Hopefully this gave you some inspiration to try out Zustand. I promise you, you won't regret it. Take care everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.